Hey guys, what's going on? This is some random Irish guy. I just want to show you my Super Nintendo collection as it is right now. Now this is not the entire games, this is just my two consoles that I have here. Now keep in mind that these stickers are optional, so you know that's just my own personal decorations. So it's not a limited edition kind of stuff. These came free with a magazine and I just thought they look cool and I put them on the console because the Super Nintendo is personally one of my favourite systems of all time. If not for that reason, then probably one of the best games ever invented was Yoshi's Island. And here I have my American Super Nintendo, and probably one of the best games, second best games would be Mario Kart here. So guys, I have the European Super Nintendo. This is the console that I grew up with, aside from my PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. But I never actually owned a Super Nintendo, but I still grew up with it because a lot of my friends and family, they all had one. I was an N64 kid and a PS1, so I kind of ignored the Super Nintendo, but I always loved it. If not for Yoshi's Island, then definitely Mario Kart. So as growing up, I have become a collector and I've collected the European Super Nintendo, which is not exactly hard to find because I live in the damn country. The American Super Nintendo is pretty hard to find, only for the reason of where I live. Like I just said, I live in Ireland, I'm European. There's not many American consoles out here, we have to get them imported, they get a bit expensive. But one of which consoles of the Super Nintendo that I thought I'd never be able to find would be this guy here. Get out of the way. Get out of the fucking way. The Super Famicom. Pretty much this is the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo. So now I can thoroughly say that I own all Super Nintendos. I'm just going to put them side by side so you can get a comparison. Now we'll move the American system out of the way because pretty much you don't have to be rocket science to figure this out. They both look identical. I'm stammering my words today. This is the European Super Nintendo, as I just mentioned. This is the Japanese version of the Nintendo I just mentioned. It might be hard to see, but guys, you might notice that this one is kind of... What's a nice way of putting it? Oh yeah, piss-coloured yellow, and this one is nice and original grey. Although people might be looking at me and go, well dude, you just ruined it by putting stickers on it, but personally I don't care, these are pretty cheap and easy to find. This one, however, is not, and I'm really annoyed that it's that putrid, stale Nintendo yellowing that you get on your console. But overall, there are some tricks and tips online that you can look about to get that yellow stain out of there. Personally, it doesn't really bother me too much. I am annoyed about it, but it doesn't really bother me too much, and I think, in a fancy way of saying it, it shows its age and class and blah blah blah, whatever. If you polish this up, yeah, you might ruin the sentimental value, and in years time it might not be worth so much as because you've put buffer to it. I've been watching a lot of Pawn Stars lately, I kind of know this kind of stuff. So here's a game as to what it would look like. This is Super Mario World. Keep in mind guys, I am going to be doing a Let's Play soon enough, as requested from a YouTuber on my channel, Xbox Channel 97. He wanted to do a Let's Play of Super Mario World. Just for shits and giggles, I will be doing the Japanese version. It's Super Mario World, just in Japan really. So I'll do a Let's Play of it on the Famicom, because I want to see how this thing handles. So the cartridge going like so. They pretty much look identical. If we eject both of them here, you can see that the cartridges are the exact same size, the exact same diameters. Even the Famicom one will fit in the PAL version and vice versa. One myth that you might be familiar with is, will the Famicom games work on the American Super Nintendo? The answer is, of course, yes. If you do one little simple trick, if you open up here, there are two little small pegs that make contact in the back of the cartridge. If you remove those pegs, then yes, the Famicom will play in the American Super Nintendo. However, the same cannot be said for the PAL version. The PAL version will not work on this. Reasons for that is that the PAL games run off a 50 Hz signal. The Famicom and the American format run off a 60 Hz signal. So if you know your signals and if you know your tech specifications, you can kind of work around it. Unless you're a mad brainiac hacker, I'm pretty sure you could find a way, but to be honest with you, if you own all three systems, it doesn't really affect you too much. One myth that I do not know for certain, and I'm really eager to find out, is, well, does a PAL game work on the Famicom? For pretty much what I've just said, I don't see a reason as to why it would not be, because think about it logically. This is outputting a 60 Hz signal, this is only a 50 Hz game. So there's a spare 10 Hz floating around. Maybe, I don't know, I'll find out. One question, guys, that I do want to ask, when I did buy this, it came with nothing. Like, I mean nothing. Like, I got no cords, I got no controllers, I got no AV cables. However, the AV cable on the back of this is pretty much the same on the Famicom and vice versa with the American. But I just want to clarify one small little thing. I am familiar with the power supply on the back of the American Super Nintendo. This was a friggin' nightmare to get sorted out. You have to buy what's called a drop-down converter, because, you know, if you live in Europe, then the power supply is a bit different. Things can go boom. I got it sorted out, but trying to find one of these plugs is not exactly easy. They're not your typical DC plugs. However, on the back of the PAL Super Nintendo, it's just like a regular standard DC 10 volt. DC 10 volt, but this one, that's an AC 10 volt. This is a DC 10 volt. And the one thing I can tell is that this thing weighs a friggin' ton. This thing is light as a feather. This one pretty much weighs the equivalent of 2 Super Nintendos, and I don't know why. However, I will be doing a look inside later on in the upcoming weeks or so, after I get my Let's Play, and as promised, I will be doing a look inside of a Sega CD. But guys, I just want to make sure, can my power supply from my both existing PAL Super Nintendo work on this? I will not be plugging this in until I find out for certain. But guys, if you know off the top of your heads, please let me know. That's why the comment sections are below. And let me know, guys, because this is a pretty rare, system for me to find, especially where I live. I know it's not rare for some people because you might live, closer to Japan, or you might have better contacts. But from where I'm living, it's a pretty rare specimen to find. So I don't want things to go boom, or I don't want any malfunctions. So guys, let me know, and any tricks and tips you can tell me about the Famicom, like what I just said. Will the PAL games work on it? I don't see why not. But guys, please let me know. Comment below. And thanks very much for watching, guys. Next upcoming videos will be a Let's Play as well as a look inside of a Sega CD. I'm going to get the Sega CD out of the way first. Then, as promised by Xbox Channel 97, I will be doing a Let's Play of Super Mario World, courteous of the Famicom. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been some random Irish guy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.